Well, hey. Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Hello. Let me get my chair together. I was trying to get in here. Hi, everybody. Trying to get in here. I had somebody stopped by from church and I was trying to get in here so I could make sure I could talk with you all. Got some stuff to talk about. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Ooh, baby. Yes, we needed to talk about it. Hey, Saida. Oh my goodness. I feel like I haven't talked to y'all forever. Saida and Karen and Marcia. Hey. And Sonia. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Right, let me get that running. Yep. There we go. So, y'all tell me in the chat how things been going. I've been so grateful that Jamie's been holding down the fort while I was tending to my daughter. Jamie's been kind of holding us down. I so appreciate that. Just being able to have somebody who can step in and kind of making it feel seamless. I know people be like, "Oh, when Arlissa coming back?" But Jamie's a great stand-in. He was charting and getting all deep into the charting and everything. Hey, Dylan, how you doing? I see Peakbot is on here. Hey there. Hey. Yes, I want to share some. We're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up next week. I'm going to share with you our list of trades. Actually, our list of trades are coming from Peakbot. This week, I used our Peakbot watch list to create our list of trades this week. I looked at them. I adjusted some of the strikes based on what I saw on the charts. But our list totally came from Peakbot this week. Only put credit spreads. We'll talk about that soon. Yes, Saida. Saida says Jamie is awesome. Yes, Jamie has done a tremendous job of making sure to chart and to do some really good analysis every morning. It's been really good. So he'll still continue to keep his part of when he does, like Mondays and Wednesdays, I think are the days that he gets the call open and running. And so he'll continue doing that as we move forward after this week. Hey, Janae, good to see you all too. Good to see you all so much. Hi, everybody. Hi. Peakbot has been working for you, Sonia. Oh, great. Tell us all about it. Put me something in the chat that tells me about it. I've been using Peakbot for TQQQ for, oh goodness, a few months at this point. The last couple of weeks I actually had Mara. I have got into Mara and then forgot to turn it off. And so I had a Mara trade that did its thing. So I had to work through that. It was only slightly breached at the end. Ended up being almost right at being a good trade. I think I might have broke even on it. Then last week I forgot to turn TQQQ back on. So last week I didn't have any, which would have been great because I really could have had that Peakbot money be the money I made last week. But because I've been tending to my daughter, I hadn't done too much trading over the last week. And if you're in my community, you have gotten an email from me. Hopefully you got an email from me where I talked a little bit about my daughter being in the hospital and us having to really work with that. She's not out of the hospital yet. I think she's coming home tomorrow. She was supposed to come home Friday, but she didn't. I think she's going to come out tomorrow. Prayerfully, she goes home tomorrow. And it's my spring break got spent doing that, right? Being mom and being a helicopter mom. Sometimes you call people at the hospital know me though. They at both hospitals. We were at two hospitals, and they definitely know me. So Peakbot says Peakbot equals set it and forget it. Yes, that's what it means. Sonia said I made $10 to $18 per week on one selection. My latest was DAL. All right, for Delta Airlines. Listen, almost everything is definitely got a lot of good bullish stuff happening for this week. And I'm gonna pull that. If you're in my community, you've probably already seen the list of trades. I want to say there's about 20, there may be 20, maybe even more than 20 trades that are, while I'm talking about it, might as well go ahead and switch us to a share screen. Since we're already here, let's just go ahead and get on with it. Yes. Let me see if I can get us to share screen. Share screen. Screen number 2. Allow. Did we get there? Yes, we did. Okay, so this is what we got on. This is this week, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So 14 and 14, 28 trades, 28 trade opportunities we have. I'm trying to make this bigger so we can all see it comfortably. We've got about 28 things you can choose from, right? The lower risk ones are over to the left. Lower risk is over here, and then a little bit moderate risk, but these are all bullish. These are all from the bullish part of the use Peakbot watch list. Yes, you can do that. Use peakbot.com. You can go there and look at their watch list. This is all that is there. If you're trading on Thinkorswim, if you're still with TD Ameritrade, which some of us still are, if you're still with TD Ameritrade, you can use Peakbot. And if you are with Tradier, you can use Peakbot. I think Peakbot is really still trying to push Schwab to let them have what they need on the back end to be able to connect with their data over there. But if you're still on TD Ameritrade or you got Tradier, you can utilize any of these things here, any of these stocks in here. Now, I only do like a 50-cent spread or one spread. For Peakbot, Peakbot is going to do the 30 delta and the 10 delta. So the spread's going to be wider. If you're using Peakbot for the trade, it's going to widen the spread, but in widening the spread, you're also going to pull in more premiums, right? So that's definitely a positive for letting Peakbot do it for you. It's going to widen the spread from a safe place, 30 delta on the sell leg and 10 delta on the buy leg. It's going to bring in more premiums. And really what you're looking for is to make sure that the stock, the strike price or the stock price closes above that sell leg or just a little bit in. But the wider you do the premiums, the more spread you get more premiums. That gives you a little bit more room at the particular strike. Right? I think my community, we've talked about that. Looks like Dylan says integration is being built now. Should be live in the next 4. What? We finna be schwabbing it. Woo woo. 4 to 6 weeks sounds really good. We got our Schwab docs. I love it, Dylan. I'm telling you, they're waiting on Schwab, but looks like Schwab is coming. So, because I was kind of concerned. I'm still on TD, which I said Sonia says she is too. I'm still on TD Ameritrade, and I switched over to Schwab. I want to say I got an email that says sometime in May. So that gives me time for you all, Dylan, you all to have it up and running. By the time I switch over to Schwab, Peakbot should be up and running with Schwab, and there should be no issue. Schwab integration coming soon. E-Trade and Tasty Trade was approved. Tasty Trade, oh my goodness. Dylan, we got to catch up because I didn't know y'all had Tasty Trades, because Tasty Trades is where I'm really kind of starting to suggest to my community that they go look at Tasty Trades, especially those of us, we're getting ready to do the 6 weeks of live coaching. So people who are coming on, who are brand new to options trading, who don't have these accounts, then they need to be able to trade with somebody. I'm dealing with, before I forget, I want you to see about getting Robinhood as well. Get Robinhood. If y'all can get Robinhood for Peakbot. I don't know if Robinhood connects with those interfaces like that, but I'm communicating with the community of people who are learning options to maybe look at Tasty Trades, to look at Robinhood, because Schwab is asking for a little more money to trade, to get started with new accounts. They're asking for more than TD Ameritrade did. So we have to provide alternatives, people who don't want to get started with a higher amount of money. But E-Trade is a great little setup too. But look at Peakbot getting all the interactions. Robinhood doesn't provide a public. I figured they don't provide a public API, but Webull is next for us. A lot of people like Webull. They announced a public API becoming available very soon. You all are doing good work. Y'all doing God's work there over Dylan. Y'all doing God's work at Peakbot. Doing the work of the Lord over at Peakbot. Okay, everybody. I'm going to try not to just be rambling on, but I feel like I haven't talked to you all. It's been so long. Sonia says I have Tasty Trade sitting doing nothing. Yeah, so maybe you can if you switch over to Schwab before, you can maybe jump into Tasty Trades and do your Peakbot from there if you so want. Remember, Peakbot is basically an automated trading for sellers. It's automated trading for the sellers. Yes, most people got automated trading, but they don't be for the sellers. They don't look out for us. They do not check for us. So, but the primary thing that I use regularly with PeakBot is they call it the wheel. It's called the wheel, which it is selling puts, but they've added on like a hedged. So when you do a hedged wheel, basically you're putting on put credit spreads is really what's going on there. You can also do the momentum trade. I don't think momentum trade is really being used a whole lot. And the iron condor is there too for SPY and triple Q. I don't really use that at this point. But we definitely use the put credit spreads. Definitely. And if you need more information, I do have a couple of videos on my YouTube channel that share with us about using PeakBot. I did a whole like look around PeakBot, how do you use it, what's this and that, and the third. I might have to do another one of those videos, Dylan, because now you've changed some things. So, and the look of the interface looks different now, and there's a few more things going on. So I may need to do another video with our updated information for PeakBot. All right. So let's move and see what we got going for how did last week go and what are we running into? What are we going to look at coming into this week? Because everybody seems to be at these all-time highs. We all seem to be, let me put that up there, we all seem to be at all-time highs. What is going on? Yes, we're running them up and up some more. And I think we may still have some more movement. I don't know if anybody saw that Kathy Wood, from what I saw on the video, she bought 100 and something shares of Tesla, 100 something thousand shares. Let me make sure that's accurate. I don't want to make sure I'm not getting us all off in the wrong thing. What did it say? 100 and, oh man, let me make sure I find it. Something about 100 and, I won't say 115,000 shares, but that seems like it's, I remember, I can see the number in my head, but I'm trying to see if that was shares or money she spent. That was Stockmo, I think. Was it Stockmo who was talking about that? I think it was Stockmo who said, yes, Kathy Wood just bought 115,000 shares of Tesla. She bought 115,000 shares of Tesla. So, of course, y'all know how that goes. Tesla could potentially move us. NVIDIA has been given a higher price target. That's going to potentially move us, right? I want to say Apple had something that just happened that was a positive. I also am keeping him thinking, we saw Intel. Jamie put something in our chat about Intel just got several billion-dollar contract that's going to for Intel. I was several billion-dollar contract for Intel and their chips. So that's going to potentially move us too. Curtis bullish, yes. PCS is going to pay in this market. Hey, Carmen. Hey, Janae. Janae, I did a quick put on Friday in Sim on Tesla. Yep, I think it's going to maybe turn after 115,000 shares. That's what moves the price. Shares is what moves the price, not options contracts. So having bought that many shares, that's Tesla. But that's, these things, a lot of these things are follow-ons. They kind of go together. So again, we don't ever trade what we hope to see. We trade what we see, what you actually see. We don't really try not to come into the market on a weekly basis with a bias or a daily basis with a bias, because it can make you see things that really aren't there, right? So you really want to be looking at what you see and trading your technicals. You want to do those things. Of course, sometimes folks pile on though. And when the people are piling on, the popularity thing will also get prices moving. So I think Apple had a few bad days last week, and they had some puts. I made a few dollars on Apple put last week, earlier in the week. But then Apple is not going to stay down long. It hit a support. And then what did it start doing? Coming right on back up, right? Curtis said Intel got $8.5 billion in money from the CHIPS Act. Yeah, I remember that. I read something like that. I think Jamie put it in our chat. Definitely got some more money. Dylan said new bot coming soon. The trend spread trades with the trend bullish for put spreads and bearish for call spreads. Oh, what? We finna have all iron condors and also rose contracts, also known as never assigned. Look at there. Dylan, y'all doing it. Y'all doing the doggone thing. So this is SPX that we're looking at. This is the monthly chart. This is the monthly chart that we're looking at on SPX, right? SPX has been cruising on. We're at all-time highs. Well, I say all-time high, we monthly highs. It's been a long time since SPX has been up here at the 52.34. I don't think it's been here since I've been a trader. And it probably has not ever. 52 and some change. We're at 52.34 is where it closed on Friday. Closed out the month even. Y'all see what this chart is looking like? 52.34 for the last 5 months. Y'all see this? This is 5 months. Well, this is the monthly chart we're in right now. March isn't over, but for the last 5 months, we've been green on SPX, right? Going up. Let's go to the weekly chart. This is what our weekly chart looks like, right? And I actually probably could take off some of these gap lines, because y'all know me. I get to where these lines might have been here for a while back. Then I forget what I put something there for, and then I'm like, well, what did I put this there for? Forget all about it. And then next thing you know, I'm like, let me go back and start over. But this is where we are here. We got a couple weeks. These last couple weeks, or the last 3 weeks before here, we had a couple of consolidation weeks. This was the 4th of March, the week of the 4th, and this was the week of the 11th. But then last week, it was like, we done consolidating, we ready to go. And that's what happens. The stocks basically take a little break so they can pause and chill for a minute, and then they get on their horse and go on about their way. And it, went on up some more. NVIDIA to get a new price target has definitely helped it. And it's still moving on, right? This is the weekly chart. And then if we go to look at our daily chart, this is the daily chart. Got a few more red days in the middle. And for those of us who trade on the daily basis, this is where you have to be very mindful about what's going on the daily when you're trading like this. But looks like we got people who still making it do what it do. Looks like there's been a little bit of a pullback here Nope, I didn't want that. I wanted a different line, a horizontal line, a little bit of a pullback from a sell zone, if that you can call it a sell zone now, or a resistance area, 52.52. It went up there and pulled back. It didn't stay up there the whole time. It's pulled back a bit. That doesn't mean that it's just not pulling back now to get a little bit of strength, so it can go up some more. We can put us we got a little bit of a gap here. This is still on the daily chart. Got a little bit of a buyer's gap that's there, right between, it's the bottom of this gap, 52.24 all the way up to 52.34. It's about a 10-point gap on SPX. And I'm looking at SPX because it's the overall market. Everybody doesn't trade SPX. Everybody doesn't have to trade SPX. But you do kind of want to see what is the overall market doing, right? Let me go see if I can find us some stuff, see what we did last week. This is the daily. Like I said, we had a big red day in Apple. This is the Apple chart on the daily. Had a big red day. This was Thursday. And then Friday, it basically bounced back a bit. It didn't do a whole lot. It's kind of a doji. But it still went, but it wasn't going down anymore. So people get in on the pop, and then they think it's going to keep going. Nothing keeps going down forever, and nothing goes up forever. They definitely go up and they go down. The stock market is a roller coaster. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. Okay, put us some lines on here. 171 looks like it's good support there on Apple. Look real quick at NVIDIA. Intel is going to have a good little jump. Intel is, at least it's priced right. Intel is priced in such a way that it's you can get in and do a little bit in there. It's priced comfortably. So let me see what we got here on the supports. This is NVIDIA we're looking at on the daily chart. It's been, actually, if you look here, it's kind of had some consolidation for a while. If you really look, nope, that's not what I wanted. If we really look in here with the brush, all these All of this has been between 951 and down as low as 857. So about 100 points, which is a lot, by the way. You know, it's like that ain't not that much. 851 to 951 is a good little amount. But it stayed within this 100 point range. It has done that for a while. So, keep that in mind. Okay, I can turn you off. So that way we're not drawing any more pictures. Guess I probably could have taken that line. That's the top line there. Got support there. I might need that line. There's a little bit of a gap here that's oh, come on. Here we go. Very little bitty gap. Well, I say very little bitty. It's probably not as little bitty as I think. Between 902 and 911. So that's about a 10-point gap there. That is when there's a little bitty one back here too. There's a few of them around, but between 850 and 950 is where NVIDIA has, maybe when it comes into this 950 zone. It went as high as 947 on Friday. Kind of went up to the resistance line and it hasn't crossed over it. Not that it can't. It's probably going to need a little bit of a boost, but this was a good green day on Friday. If you made some money in the chat, hey Tanya, you made some money off of some trades that we did last week. Y'all put some dollar signs or something in our chat and into our comments. I know some folks, if we had some call credit spreads, I was looking at the call credit spread list from last week's thing, and the first 3 or 4 was breached because we had a whole lot more up going last week than we thought we were going to have. DraftKings decided to get going. Janae, did you make any of that DraftKings money, Janae? DraftKings had a few good days last week that it ran on. This was DraftKings last week. It went up 4 days and then it stopped right there, kind of pulled back on Friday. I see Tanya got some dollar signs. Royal Diadem has some dollar signs. Yes. And yes, Karen got some money in last week's. Yes, last week we're doing it and doing it well. I made a few dollars. It wasn't much because I was not focused on trading for the most part. And I had such high grade plans. I was planning on back testing a new piece of software that I run into. I had some high plans, boy, but that means it wasn't meant to be. I definitely was planning on bringing us a new piece of software we were going to use in our community. Now I just got to I'll still do that, but I have to do it now. Gonna be a minute. I got to find some more time now to be able to back test, which I think I may do this week. I really think I may spend some time in my sim this week doing some stuff anyway, just so I can utilize it for us, for the us's, and for y'all, for all of us. We can utilize it together. Life be lifing. That's the truth, Tanya. Life be lifing. And that's what's definitely going on over here. All right, let's look at Forex Factory, see what we got for the week coming up. Let me find the calendar for the week. Okay, how about I move it to the right screen so that everybody can see? There we go. So this week we've got Monday, CBI realized sales. FOMC member Bostic is speaking. New home sales is an orange folder. Is going to be at 10 on Monday. MPC. Who is MPC? I ain't heard of them. Then who is the MPC? Let's see who these people are. Monetary Policy Committee. Committee. Due to speak at the annual Royal Economic Society conference in Belfast. Oh, did you know what though? I know it's wrong. Let me go and fix this. I was like, why is that popping up on our stuff? And it's because I need to do the filter. I only do the US apply filter. I only pick US. I want none, and then I pick just USD. There we go. And now we can apply the filter. I was like, who are these people in England? No. Okay, so here we go. This is Monday. We have a couple of things. FOMC member Bostic is speaking, and new home sales is going to be at 10 o'clock on Monday. And on Tuesday, we got core durable goods and durable goods orders. That's Tuesday at 8:30. 9 o'clock, we've got S&P CS Composite, HPI year over year, HPI month over month. 10 o'clock, we've got CB Consumer Confidence, Richmond Manufacturing Index. That's all on Tuesday morning. Red folder is pretty much the CB Consumer Confidence. Wednesday, we've got crude oil inventories and FOMC member Waller will speak. This is a red folder, but that's 6 o'clock in the evening after the market is closed, right? That's Wednesday. We may feel the effects of that on Thursday, though. Final GDP quarter over quarter, unemployment claims, red folder, final GDP price index quarter over quarter, orange folder. That's all before the market opens. Chicago PMI 945, pending home sales, revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment, and University of Michigan inflation expectations. Those are red folders on Thursday morning at 10. And then we've got natural gas storage at 10:30. Friday, we got a couple red folders. Core PCE is the red folder. Goods trade balance, personal income, personal spending. FOMC member Daly is going to speak. And then at 11:30, Powell is going to speak, which will be a red folder. Let's see where is he speaking. Let's see what's going on, why he's participating in a moderated discussion with Kai Risdale at the Macroeconomics and Monetary Policy Conference in San Francisco. Okay. Pretty much he probably has, it says, we care because he's the head of the central bank. I get that part. I was going to say if they were going to talk about volatility is often experienced during his speeches as traders attempt to decipher interest rate clues. That's on Friday morning at 11:30. So we've got several things going this week. We got a red folder. Looks like we got a red folder every day this week, except for Monday. Monday's the only day we don't have a red folder. So we'll keep that in mind for sure. Where did I put the, not here. Maybe I put it, let me grab my mouse. I think I did. Yep, there we go. The earnings for this week. Earnings for this week. A lot of people we probably don't know, but let's see what we got. Right? We've got Bitcoin Depot. BTM is Monday morning before the market opens. Syra Health and Viomi. That's all Monday morning. Westport Fuel Systems. Hope everybody can see that. I'm trying to make it as big as possible. BAKKT, not sure what that is or what it stands for. Recor, Sonara MedTech, the Metals Company, Green Tree Hospitality Group, and DADA. And that's like it's an Asian company. So that's Monday after close. Tuesday, we've got McCormick, the seasoning people, TD Synex or Synex, Luna, GDS, which looks like it's Asian also, Bioline RX. We've got Doyu, which this is another Asian character, Bragg, Terrain Orbital, Elbit Systems, and Acumen. Tuesday after close, GameStop. GameStop still hovering. I thought they were trying to get GameStop shut down, but somebody over here in the comments said GameStop gonna be weak. Robinhood, the only one. Direct Digital Holdings is there. Ouster Progress. Concentrix is here. Encino, Biara, Intrusion, Noah Holdings. This again has Asian characters. Wednesday morning, we got Carnival Corporation, CCL, which is the Carnival Cruise Line, I'm guessing, but it says Corporation and FLC. Altimmune, Cintas. Paychecks is show coming up. Gameta Sale, Lands End, R3E is here, 10 Limited, Cyros, RH, and RH is Robinhood, which you would think it would have the green tree or something, right? Robinhood has been rallying for a while though, and I've read somewhere that it's all because of their crypto holdings. Robinhood holds a lot of crypto, and that has helped them to continue to grow. Urban Grow is here, Braze, Greenidge, yep, Verent, Franklin Covey. Anybody in there? Anybody Remember the days of the Franklin Covey or those Franklin Covey planners? When I worked at GE, everybody had to have a Covey planner. We went to class and everything to use it properly. Today said I might look at DraftKings this week. Yeah, supposedly with the stuff that's going on with the basketball and everything, it's got a run happening because of that. HB Fuller, Sprinkler, Jeffries, that's all Wednesday after close. Thursday, we've got Walgreens Boots. Walgreens Boots is coming up Thursday morning, and I'm thinking they're going to do pretty good. When they change CEOs, perhaps they'll come on and do a little something. HUT 8 is crypto mining. That's what HUT 8 is. Azul, Consolidated Water, D-Wave, BRP, Gold Royalty, ATAT, Dario, and this is another Asian company, CNFH. On Thursday after close, we got Energous, Vuzix. These are paper. I got big creative with these names. Zevra, Planet, Oxford, Dare Bio, Surf Air Mobility, Simtech, ShareCare, and Emerin. Nothing's happening on Friday. Nothing's happening on Friday as far as earnings goes. Nothing there. Okay, nothing there. We looked at the calendar. We looked there. Let's go back to look again at our charts. What do we see? What do we see? Anything here we see that's of interest? What do we see here that is of interest? We might say anything here we want to look at on the chart. Let me see which ones I think I like. Oxy has been carrying some people around really nice, or it hasn't been Exxon. Nope, I'm thinking about Exxon, and I don't think it's on the list. Exxon is not even on the list. It's been doing pretty well. ORCL. I'm gonna chart Intel, even though I don't think it's on the list either. I don't think Intel is on our list. I'm doing the type, looking to see what was, if Carnival Cruise Line, that's the only one that there's no cruise line on here. Let's look at Amazon. We can look at Taiwan Semiconductors. Anything else catching our attention? Disney had a good run last week. Okay, I got something to look at, so let me go and get us on the chart. If you got something else that you want us to take a peek at, let me know. Let me know. Okay, where did I say I was starting? Let me go back to my little notes up here. I said I was starting with Oracle. We got Oracle. Oracle has a monstrous gap here between these two. Good buyers gap is happening there. I was on a call while I was learning, because I'm always learning. Y'all need to know that I'm always trying to make sure I can improve my skills as well. And so I don't know if I always pace with everybody, but I try to make sure that I keep my skills going up too. But one of the things that was happening on the call is the person was talking about how they take these gaps, and he breaks these gaps into like a 4. Let me see if I can make it do, because he was using TradingView also. He breaks these into a 4 piece, and I don't know if that would have done it, but he takes these and breaks them into 4. There we go. I did it. Breaks it into 4 levels, right? To quadrants. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. I may need to change the color of this so we can see. Maybe it can be a little clearer. Can y'all? It's probably so small for y'all. I wonder if I could turn it to white, if that would help. If I made this white, would it be easier to see? Maybe. The point here I'm trying to make is that where up until recently, we've all done, for me, I've done just the support and the resistance at the top and the bottom of the gap, right? I just did support and resistance. This is, I'm going to tell you what's going on here, what these things say. This one here is 0.25% basically, and this is 0.50, like 50%. This is 0.75, and this is 1. So from the top to the bottom. So halfway here in the middle is a 50% mark. And what he was teaching was that this is like premium versus what's another word? The opposite of premium, like bargain. Is he didn't use the word bargain, but he said like partway through these 25% marks is where you will see support along the way. Understand what I'm saying? So the supports are not just the bottom of this being support, but there's the support at the 25% mark. There's a support at the 50%. There's a support at the 75. This is almost like a kind of a Fibonacci kind of thing, but there's support in the middle of this gap, support at each of these 25% levels. So if you put this on as price comes in, that's why sometimes we see price come in and then it dips back out. It's because it hits a support at the 25% or so, and then it can dip again and go further, or you'll see it could here and maybe slow down and then drop some more and slow down. So I thought, wow, I hadn't learned that, and I hadn't heard that before. So I thought that was a pretty interesting piece of information. And I found it's called a fib retracement, but I think it's just a 4-level. And again, I'm on TradingView. So if you have TradingView, and you may be able to do it on Thinkorswim. They may have a fib retracement that has 4 levels as well. But I thought that was interesting piece of information for charting gaps, for when you're charting the gaps. Okay, we do see another gap here. There we go. We see another gap here. Right, another buyer's gap that happened since that one happened. And it is, if we were to do our same thing with, you saw the next day's price action kind of went down into it a little bit too. Right, they did that also, but I'm going to put it here and see if I can get it to do again and get it to do again. Yeah. So this candle here, if I was to widen this out, you may be able to see it a little bit better. I wonder if I should change it to black so y'all can see better. But this candle here came down to right above this 50% mark and turned around. Came right here to the 50% point and turned around. But we know that the bottom of this is going to be support, right? But there's some supports along the way. Okay, let me get this. And actually, this should go up just a little bit. No biggie. It's a small thing. Okay, so with Oracle, this is what I was supposed to be charting to see what's going on in Oracle. Looking at it, it's on our put credit spread list. So if we're looking at supports, I would think we could look at as a good support at the bottom of this gap, which will be 125, could be there. Or we can look at this support level, at this big green candle. We can also look at that 124. And I believe, let's see, what do we have as our number? Where did I put it? Did I close it off? No, there it is. Our Oracle support is 125. Our Oracle support is 125, which is up here. It's up here. If you wanted to be more sure, you of course could do 123, 124. Right? But this gives us a lot. Look, we got a couple. We got to get through this gap in order to get to this support. So if it should hit, this was a good support too, because it here and then it jumped up here. So this 124 is definitely a good support. So as you think about which of those you really like, if you're going to trade Oracle, there we go. Right? Intel is not on our list, but let's take a look at it because it might provide us some opportunity, because Intel had not been given up till to a long time. They had not been given Tanya says, interesting. If I trade something with gaps, always try to get on the other side of the gap because I fear price is going to hit the strike to close the gap. Yeah. Oh, RH is restorative hardware. Thank you, Janae. What kind of indicator is that called again? Curious about RDDT, about Reddit. Oh, that indicator is called, it's a Fibonacci retrace, so a fib retracement. It's a fib retracement here. And it's the 4 level one fib retracement. Okay, this is Intel. Let's see what we got on Intel. Now we've got support from back here on February the 28th. We've got support back here. Intel has been, it's been coming on down. It did hit this same support and bounced up a bit and going up here. If we got some resistance, it's probably going to be up here based on, I'm doing it based on this February 26th, but I guess we also could do one over here based on these candles as well. It's going to offer resistance in the 43 area as well. So it's going to have to move on through there. Right. I think if you got below, this is 41.99. So if you're below 42, you're probably going to be good. I don't have Intel on the, if anybody has your Thinkorswim open, maybe somebody can look at what is the, well, I can look myself, what is the, looking at what is the probability out of the money on the put credit spread side for this coming Friday. Let me see, INTC, there it is. It's actually right here. Looks like, I got to change it to single. Looks like 41.5 is the 72% probability out of the money, which is actually lower than this. 41.5 is down in here where the bottom of these candles are. 41.5 would be good for Intel. Let me see if I can put us a little note here. INTC 41.5 PCS. Yeah, I think the gap could be played as a buffer. I'm not sure if you were listening, Jamie, when I was just showing about the 4 levels of the 4 levels of the gaps, but definitely the gap is definitely a buffer. I feel like though if they're really big though, like the one we just saw on Oracle, if they're really big gaps, just keep in mind that there's zones inside of that gap. This is between 114 and 124. This is a 10-point gap. So that there are some supports along the way. So just keep that in mind. And you actually just got to go through this gap and get through that one. If you go looking at 114 on Oracle, that's 13 points below where it currently is. There may not be much money at 114. But if it's going to keep us safe, we'd rather be safe than sorry. If you're going to trade it, maybe you put an order on that will feel after it's gotten to a certain place, right? For Oracle, 126 is the 71% probability out of the money, and 126 is at this top gap. 126 is actually up here. Right, the bottom of this gap is 126. And that's what it's giving as a 71%. And it's got Oracle has a plus minus 2.6 for Friday, which puts you at about 125, 126. Okay. I put Intel into the chat. What I have next, Oracle, Intel. Oh, AMD showed up on the list. I overlooked that. AMD had a good run last week as well. Probably running along. Well, it had a few pullback days and running along with why did I think AMD was running along? NVIDIA had some little bit of pullback too, didn't it? Okay, my weeks are probably all jacked up because my last week felt like it was a blur. Last week feels kind of blurry. Okay, this is I'm putting on our little 4 Fibonacci, right? The 50% place is about 188. There's a seller's gap here. Part of the gap did get filled. Well, I could take this and take us all the way down to where the gap originally was. And then we can see what happens with this when, come on, Cletus. There we go. And it went up to like the 75. Well, if you're looking at just the body, it's just below the 50% mark. If you're going with the wick, it went up a little bit past the 50%, but not much. Went halfway and turned on back. There might be something to this. So just, keep this in mind as you're continuing to chart. Of course, as we all expand our knowledge, right? Keep that in mind as we expand our knowledge. So now the rest of the gap would need filling. If I was looking at AMD, we've got some support back here. I want to turn this into a solid line. The support really is back in February. At the end of February, we've got support back here where it kind of just paused and then took off. That's at 175, 175.95. And it looks like this green candle here kind of went right into that zone and went on back up. It closed above that zone as well. But there's a gap here that I think it was filling because I see this here. Yep, there's that gap. And I guess now we could consider that gap all but filled. The price action did fill it. And the body of this candle filled the majority of it. Again, depending on how you look at filled or not filled, price action did fill it, but the body has not filled it fully. But it kind of hit this gap, came down into here and went on back up. Price action actually filled it a few days, and then the green candle went down there too. So that's not completely done, but I still see that 175 and some change as your support. Let me see what I would look at for a plus minus. The plus minus number is 8.8. So let's say -9. So if you get to like 170, that's not quite where we are as far as that goes. But it's at 172.5 is 74% probability out of the money. 172.5, which would put us down in here in the middle of this gap. 172.5 puts us in the middle of this. If this zone, did I put that zone there? I think I did, because I can take it back off. Okay, how do you undo what you just did? I want to put that back. 172.5 is in the middle of this gap over here. Right, this was the gap I put on back a ways. Okay, so if we're looking at AMD, 170, 172.5 would probably be the safest. As far as the plus minus number, that's the plus minus number there. If you were looking to get at the bottom of this is 175. You have to be feeling a little more daring if you decided to go at 175. 172.5 probably would put you at a safer place. AMD's a 2.5 spread. It wasn't that long ago. It was a 1 spread, but it is not anymore. It is not anymore. Let's move to Amazon. This is Amazon. It also has a gap down here. Price came down and bumped it and went on back on by its way. Let's put some lines on here. I believe I have Amazon as 175 is our support area. I got 175 as the strike price. And I think I'm okay with that. So we've got basically, this is our, if you want to do leg in base and then jump out, there you go with that. 174.16 is the good support here. There's some support over here as well. Where's my mouse? There you go. Come on, Cletus. Got some support right in there at 176.61, which it's actually this green candle hit it and went on. These supports are from back here, from back in March the 5th, March the 7th, even here, March the 15th. Right, we've got that. Let's do though. There's a resistance right here though, which it bumped or almost bumped. It kind of went over it and then came back and closed. Almost at it at 178.87, and then we have resistance also at the top of this candle here. So between 179.94 and the support being really 176.61. I think I said I had 175 as the support area. Come on. Oh, you don't want to act right. I'm trying to make sure I look for the plus minus number. Plus 3.9. So take away 4, puts us at like 174, 174 and some change, or 175. So that's probably why I picked 175. Between that and the plus minus, not the plus minus, the probability out of the money at 175 is 80%. 80% probability out of the money at 175. That's why I went with 175 on Amazon. Okay. TSM. Got 2 more, and then we'll talk a little bit about trades. That's the topic I had for today. Got a gap there. $136 is the bottom of that gap. 139 and some changes. The top of that gap, it kind of hit right there on the green and bumped it and went the other way. There we go. Went down just a little bit above that 25%. And then moved on up a little higher. Okay. Supports, we've got a couple of gaps right on basically back to back. The support I see would be at 134. Again, there's another gap here that's just below that one. We'd have to be mindful of both of these, which, as Jamie was saying, these gaps can provide some buffering. I decided to just go with put credit spreads this week, even though we do see some stuff that has potentially could have some pullbacks, but everything's been going up like it's been going. And of course, we want to be mindful, but just know that we can always do iron condors. You just want to watch the timing of when you do your iron condor, because if you get on the wrong side at first, then you have to be worried that it's going to supersede your strike. It's going to surpass your strike, so you'll be worried about that. So definitely, we don't have to jump into our credit spreads right off rip. We can give a little bit of time to see what's going on before we jump in there and do anything. But from what I can see at this point, we've got support really at the bottom of this gap, which would be like 136.77. Right? This is Taiwan Semiconductors. It's on the way up, though. We've got an upward trend going here. Trend line going from here to here. Of course, we can make that tighter or shallower, but it's still got a trend going. But we also have trend coming down from here. We also have a trend coming from here. This is what we're looking at. So now, will it break out? Break out. Will it break out? This is like a regular flag, I guess you can call it. I guess I could also incorporate this candle over here. These candles over here can be put into I can extend this trend. Oh, that's too far. Nope. You could hit it this way, but then that takes all those out. I don't like the way that looks. So we need to stick with this one. There's another trend line would go in like this. If I was going to draw another one, I could start with this line and then take it into where we currently are. Where are you? There we go. Could do it like this. And that's still going to hit a few. It hits some lines say, well, maybe these jumped outside and then they come back into the inside the zone. But that's a wedge. I wouldn't call it a rising wedge. It seemed to be like, this could be a flagpole. Jamie, are you there? I'm looking at TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. This is Taiwan Semiconductor. Jamie, if you're there, I think this is called you could call it a flag. This right here could be the pole. And then this could be the flag. You just call it a wedge. It's got a few different things you probably could call this. That's what's going on. This is Taiwan Semiconductors. I probably would. It's been talk about that consolidation. It's been consolidating about like NVIDIA has. It did have a pop out here, right up to. It did have a good pop out up to about 150. But all of this time, where's my little pencil? Little brush. All of this has been inside of a zone. So it bopped out here, but it's been inside this zone for a minute. And if I wanted to get a little wider, I could say all these have been inside of the zone. If I was to start down here at 127 and go up to 144, that's only about 17 points between this lowest point and this one is about 17 points. That doesn't include this up here at the 150, but even that, talk about 20 points, which is a lot, but you know, that's what's going on there. Okay, that's Taiwan Semiconductors. Our strike for Taiwan Semiconductors was 135, 136. 135, 136. It is definitely basing. So 136 is down in here at the bottom of this gap. Bottom of this gap here is 136. Bottom of this first gap. It's 136 is a little bit below it. It's kind of back down into 136 is down in the middle of this gap. So yeah, so if we with our 50% here on this one, that provides us two buffers. Don't know what kind of premiums we get. 136 is only 4 points away from current price though. I could go with that one. Okay. Jamie is putting a comment chat. Hey, y'all, please don't forget to click like on today's live. Click a like. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Forward it, pass the word. Right? If you decide you wanted to send a super chat, that would be wonderful. Send some stickers, any of those things. You're free to do all of the good stuff on this chat, especially if you're getting some value out of what we're talking about. If you're getting some value. What was after Taiwan Semiconductors? What else did I type after that? Oh, Disney. Does anybody know why Disney has been running like it is? Anybody have any idea why Disney has had such a move? I don't know if it was Disney Plus or if we're starting to do sports on the Disney Channel. What do y'all think is going on with that? We do have some resistance up here. It hit a resistance at 117 and some change. But it's had a nice little run. Had a pullback or two. This was a pretty good pullback here, but it's still moving on up. Moving on up. And then it got here at 111 and moved on up some more. Finally hit a resistance at 117 and pulled back a little bit. But I believe, what do I have for our strikes for Disney? 114? I have 114 as our strikes, and 114 is right down in here. There's a small mini gap right here, 114. I want to say, don't forget COVID ended, so people are seeing Mickey Mouse. Yeah, that's just true. But that's still that COVID ended a couple years ago. Well, say a couple years ago. I don't know if that's why people are going to Mickey Mouse now. I feel like something else has to be going on. Disney. I'm looking for, and I did this before, but after when you do all the research, I forget all the ones. 114 is a 74% probability out of the money. 114, which is about in here, has a 74%. And then the plus minus number is 2.5. So that's about 113. 113, 114. Coolly high. So let's talk about, I think I've covered my list of things. Did I cover my list? Add to the stage. Yep. Can y'all still hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello. Hello, hello. I'm thinking you cannot. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Okay. I hit the wrong button, and this thing is sensitive. Jamie says, I can hear you. Okay. Jamie says, Disney Plus, the Marvel Universe movies, sports programming, the theme parks are returning to pre-COVID numbers is what I meant. Gotcha. Marsha says yes. Okay, cool. Yes, I'm thinking that definitely could be what's going on there. Okay. Let me remove this. There we go. So I was looking at or talking about, I was going to talk about today, what kinds of things do we trade when? What kind of things do we trade when? We've been in the situation now. Okay, I got a few things to say because as I'm thinking about it even more, I want to make sure I quantify it. The first thing you want to make sure that you do is you pick a stock or two or three that you really like, that you watch all the time. You want to pick some stocks that you like and that you watch and that you trade regularly. And if you like a sector, then trade that sector. And the sector can change. So let's say, for example, when NVIDIA when NVIDIA started doing its thing and everybody really got excited about NVIDIA, then you could potentially have shifted your sector to semiconductors, right? That would have included Taiwan Semiconductors, Intel, when it was trying to do its thing. You had NVIDIA, you got AMD, you got all these sectors. Speaking of which, if you utilize the stuff we talked about was it last Sunday? Did we do it last Sunday? When did I talk about NVIDIA? Did I talk about NVIDIA last Sunday? The weeks are running together. They run together. Yes. Okay, cool. If you looked at what we talked about last Sunday and made you some trades, you probably should have made you some buddies. But my point is that you can change your sectors, but you want to pick a thing or two that you're following, that you're watching regularly is what you want to do. When things are bullish, let me see if I like to be able to type and show and see, right? Let me do this before I do that. File, give me a new screen. Thank you. Okay. I can put that here. Maybe I may have to put it on the other screen. It's probably going to be all wide looking. That's not what I wanted. There we go. See how that looks. Make sure it's big enough for everybody to be able to see. Now I can add to the stage. Yep, I'll make it a little bigger over here. What to trade when? Hope y'all can see that. Let me make it where it's bold. What to trade when? Nope, I didn't want italics. I wanted bold. And let's maybe make it a little bit bigger. What to trade when? Okay. When you've got bullish, I think I want all of this to stay bold. Bullish sentiments. What does that really mean? Because some people don't know what bullish sentiments really mean, which means sentiments. Things are going up. When things are going up, right? That's bullish sentiments. What you want to trade there would be put credit spreads, right? You can do put credit spreads. Then you can sell cash secure puts, right? You can also buy calls. And one more thing. Buy call debit spreads. These are all the things you can do if you've got bullish sentiments, if you feel like your stock is going up, right? You can always, when you think my stock is going up, right, you can do these put credit spreads, which that's one of our favorites. We like some put credit spreads around here. Yeah, put credit spreads. Yeah, that the spacing of that was going to bother my sensibilities. That's why I had to retype it. Sorry. Okay, put credit spreads, cash secure puts, buy a call or buy call debit spreads. Okay, now both those last two are buying strategies where you pay to play. These top two, you're going to take in premiums, right? These are the top two are seller trades and the bottom two are buyer trades, right? If you have any questions or whatever about what any of these things are, how do you do these particular strategies, then you need to check over at Educator2Trader.com because all of these are there for training. Educator2Trader.com. Right? That's where you can go for your trainings. Things are bullish. If things are bearish, if you got bearish sentiments, which means, stuff is going down. When I say things, it's the things that you're looking at, because we all know that you can be looking at one stock and it's going up or going to the moon, as they say, and another stock can be sitting still or can be going down. You can have a green day going in some places and then something else is red, right? Everything is not always green and red at the same time. What do we do when we've got bearish sentiments or we're thinking things are going down? Well, we can do call credit spreads. I'm going to put sell in front of it. Sell call credit spreads. I'm going to put sell up here too. Sell call credit spreads. You can sell covered calls if you have the shares. Got to have the shares or a long call. You're going to buy. You can buy a put. Or you can buy put debit spreads. Now, the good thing about the debit spread, I talked about this a little bit last week. Debit spreads are going to allow you to be able to get in as a buyer on stocks and on stocks that may be too large to just hop in and buy flat out. It's like NVIDIA last week. I told you those contracts last week on NVIDIA were like $4,000 and $5,000 a contract. Well, if you did a call debit spread, then you could able to get in for a couple $100 and then generate profits if all went well, to equal up to the 5 spread, because NVIDIA is a 5 spread. So if you paid 200, you could profit up to 300. If you paid 100, you could profit up to 400. You paid 150, you could profit up to 350. That's the way debit spreads work. If it's a 1 spread, you pay $50, you can make $50. If you pay 10, you can make 90. That's, you only can profit the difference of the spread, right? But you pay to play when you're doing that. You pay to play. And if you have consolidation or channeling, basically means it's not doing anything. It's staying within a zone. Price is staying. When I say it, should probably say price. Price is staying within a zone. When you're in that situation, what do? We can do sell iron condors. If it's consolidating, I wouldn't necessarily do strangles or straddles because you need more room than that. It needs to really bounce a little bit more to do strangles and straddles. So really, when it's consolidating, all you really can do, in my opinion, is to sell iron condors. Unless you're just scalping. And if you're scalping, you can maybe scalp a few dollars as it goes each direction. But, you know, again, I don't really coach buyers, so I don't know. I can't tell you how to make that do for you. We are sellers over here. We're sellers over here. So we've got all three. We've got three different ways what to do when. What do you do when? If it's bullish, you got four things. If it's bearish, you've got four things. If the price is channeling or consolidating, then you can do iron condors. You can do iron condors. Who's got questions in there? Anybody got questions in the chat? Anybody got questions of what goes on here? Nope, we don't have any. Okay, let me move on then. Y'all know we are starting our 6-week coaching is starting on April the 1st, which will be next Monday. Starting April the 1st, which will be next Monday. Let me go see if I can find the graphic we need to look at. Nope, that's not. Oh, that's fine to be there. That's not what I wanted. Well, come on, Cletus. There we go. Options 411 6-week live options coaching is starting on April the 1st. Right? We're going to take 6 weeks to really get very good at understanding how do we trade options? How do we get ourselves up and running? How do we get our accounts open? How do we work with our platforms? How do we chart the strategies we need? Understanding the lingo, creating our own trading plan. We've got, listen, all the pieces and the parts. All the pieces and the parts are going to be in this 6 weeks of coaching. If you were in my challenge, you do get a discount to join the 6-week options coaching. If you were not in my challenge, then you got the price of $397, and this is all that's included. I kind of just talked about all this, but it's $397 if you were not in the challenge. If you were in the challenge, you got a discount, and if you were in the challenge, you should have been able to see it inside the Telegram group and in the emails. And I give you a pretty decent little discount to join up with the 6 weeks of coaching, right? Basically interactive, hand holding, walking you through what you need and getting, it's videos from the standpoint of you have some preparatory videos, but then I come and teach it live. So it's not all videos. You're going to have some videos that will prep you to learn So that way, when I come to teach it live to you, you've kind of already been exposed to it, and it is not fresh news, and I'm not breaking up all the ground. Hopefully people watch the videos ahead of time. Most people do. Folks feel like they want to watch. They watch the videos ahead of time so that they're ready for class when we actually do have class. Sonia is asking, is NEO a bad stock to trade? I don't think it's a bad stock to trade. I think all of them are about the same. NEO was all the rave and all the hype there for a minute, and then it wasn't the rave or the hype anymore. It went from being all the rave to not being the rave at all. So no, I think NEO is fine to trade just as well as anything else, just as long as you know what you're doing. You got a plan, you got a strategy that you want to use it for. I think NEO works as good as anything else works. Absolutely. Absolutely. All righty. Well, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. We also have the membership that is open. If you're in the membership, that does open you up to be able to hang out with us and all these other events and things that I have going. And you can come hang out with us there for sure. Sign up now. Get yourself started on the membership if you want. Everything that you want to do with Educator to Trader, you can do over at Educator2Trader.com. Okay. I will be on again in the morning. Well, actually, Jamie will open up the call and I will come into the call about 9:30. We'll come in, and I may be there at 9:30. Depends on how my class goes in the morning. We're coming off spring break, so we'll see how first class back from spring break goes. And my students also have a test next Friday, so we're gonna be getting ourselves ready for our test. But I'll be there. We'll be there in the morning, looking at what the market holds for us in the morning, checking out what's available. Remembering that we trade what we see, not what we hope to see. All right. If you want something from, want to talk to me, send me a message. Put me a message in the comments. I usually reply to my comments. You can send me an inbox if you'd like. Find me on all the social media platforms. Many of you are already on my email list. If you've got something you want to talk about, we can talk about it via email. If you were looking for a one-on-one because you need some more specialized guidance, definitely reach out to me. I offer one-on-ones as well, and we can talk about what it is that we can do to get you on track. All righty. All right, everybody. We always want to remember that we do two things off in this group here in the E2T crew. We stay green and we get this Money. All right. I will see you all in the morning. I want everybody to have a really good evening. Get yourselves ready for tomorrow morning. For those of you who have to leave the house and go to a job, even if you work from home, that ain't like that's not work. You work from home, that's still work too. And for those of you who don't have to leave, blessings on your blessings. All righty, you all continue to pray for my daughter if you don't mind, and I will see you all in the morning. All righty, everybody have a good evening. All right, bye everyone.